Marvel Rivals developers laid off as NetEase guts entire team. Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming. Marvel Rivals, one of the more successful games of the last year, has seen its development staff hit with layoffs. According to multiple posts on social media, publisher NetEase has laid off an entire Marvel Rivals development team. The Marvel Rivals director, Thaddeus Sasser, took to LinkedIn to reveal the news on Tuesday afternoon. Quote, "This is such a weird industry," end quote, Sasser wrote. Quote, "My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games. And we were just laid off." End quote. Oh, what? Dude, like baffled. Absolutely baffled. So what did I do? I reached out. I'm like, yo, I got a couple contacts. Let me find out what exactly is going on here. This is the response I got. "We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. This resulted in a reduction of a design team based in Seattle that is part of the larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating them confidently and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. We want to reassure our fans that the core development team for the Marvel Rivals, which continues to be led by producer Riching Wu, and creative director Guanqing Chen in China, remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. We are investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of this game. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service experience for our worldwide player base." Michael?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm curious how this is going to affect, if at all, the player base of Marvel Rivals. Right? You and I talk about it all the time. Hey, this game didn't do well. Staff laid off, studio closures. That always, I don't want to say it makes sense because, you know, there are people who are working on it, but you understand why. You're like, hey, this game didn't sell. You got to keep the lights on. If you don't make enough money, you got to let people go. Marvel Rivals is going absolutely crazy. 250,000 people basically playing every day, and that's just on Steam. Yep. Imagine what the numbers are everywhere else. And all of a sudden you have your next big update, right? Human Torch and the Thing. People have been loving this season so far. It's only season 1. And then you just say, nope, we're going to lay off an entire team. I don't understand what's going on. As soon as this news dropped, I was all over trying to figure out, of course, now that you got the statement, more of a PR statement than anything, but I'm trying to figure out what is happening? Why are you laying off people again? This game is going crazy, Drew, and I'm curious how the fallout is going to be for the fans. Because I think a lot of people are like, I don't know if I've seen anyone threaten quitting yet, but it's sort of those, like, this leaves a weird taste in your mouth. How's the game going to look in Season 2? If the content starts to decline, if the quality starts to decline, we're going to point to this moment and say, hey, this is where everything went south. The other thing, I'm curious if Blizzard hires anybody from these layoffs, Drew, right? Overwatch 2, they've been doing a lot. They've now got a third-person 6v6 mode. I wonder if any of these guys who kind of put Marvel Rivals on the right track find themselves working for Blizzard, trying to take down Marvel Rivals here very soon.
It's just mind-blowing. Dude, a game this successful cuts an entire team. Nobody is safe in this industry, Michael.
No.
It's just ridiculous. You think, okay, we're at the top of our game right now. We're firing on all cylinders, except for the one over in Seattle, because we're going to cut them all. Like, dude, that drop yesterday, I was like, you got to be kidding me. What just happened here? So immediately I took to Steam. Went, what's the numbers over here then? Like, they're not bad. No, they're not bad at all. 235,000 people were playing. That was at 5 o'clock last night when over here. Like, it was like, what is going on? And then on top of that, as I'm looking this information up, my son is playing Marvel Rivals on his PlayStation. I was just like, like, you guys, you're not hurting. I don't get it. You've got the fans right where everybody wants them to be, and yet you laid off a support studio, Michael, is what it sounds like to me, right? I don't care what studio it is, it hurts. And I'm sorry to everybody affected by it. But I'm just, at what point do you ever feel safe in this industry? And I don't think you ever do. Because even when you are at the top of your game, firing on all cylinders, making as much money as you possibly can for a live service game, they're still cutting people. here, like you say though, now what is this lineup for season 2? How much pre-work have they done? How much have they created already that they are in the tank of, okay, we've got the next 6 months lined up. Well, that's great, but if it's a live service game, you need to have the next 2 years, 3 years ready to go, right? You have a schedule. The minute you start slowing down, that's not good. Your game's gonna tank. And they have so many opportunities here. Like, oh man, Michael, so confused. Dude, so confused. Nobody does this better in live service right now than Epic with Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the way they are creating a live service experience has been going on for years. Now, granted, even they've had layoffs. Like, everybody in this industry has layoffs. But nobody at the top of their game, especially over at Epic, when they're firing, dude, and just going, nobody laid anybody off. They need more hands on deck. People were working around the clock. So, like, how many staff did they have over here? So many questions. Are you now worried, Michael, for the future of Marvel Rivals? Because you play this on a daily basis.
I'm worried just a little bit. I'm worried for a couple reasons. One, at least one level designer confirmed he was part of the layoffs. I don't know how many there were, but that was the one area I was always critical of Marvel Rivals. I thought that was the one area that Overwatch always did better, right? Overwatch had more maps when the game released. Overwatch had a better map pool. It felt like Marvel Rivals, they've been struggling. I've even said, hey, cut a couple heroes, give me a couple more maps. Especially on launch, it felt like you played the same, like, 2 or 3 maps. For just boom, boom. And I'm like, oh my god. And they've added a couple more in this season, but you still get to that point when if you have, like, a long grind session, 3-4 hours, you're like, okay, I've played this map already. Like, and so now there's not at least one level designer is gone. Again, to your point, maybe he has something in the tank. It's going to come out in season 2. That's going to sting a little bit. But that's my first concern. My second concern is internally, right? I feel like if you're at Marvel Rivals, all of a sudden you're like, am I safe? Should I start looking elsewhere? How does that affect it? Are we all going to sudden hear like, oh, hey, this person at Marvel Rivals now left. They catapulted their success to go get a job somewhere else. And is that going to hurt the team? I think season 2, I think you're probably right. They probably have enough content in the tank. Maybe the second half of season 2. Season 3. This is when I'm going to be very curious, Drew, what it looks like, because if season 2 tanks, are we going to cut more people? If people stop playing and protest, are we going to cut more people? I think this, out of nowhere, you and I have been talking, when is Marvel Rivals going to fail? A couple months, and then it's going to go away. Nope, it's still playing. This might be that straw that slowly breaks the camel's back and starts to tank Marvel Rivals. I'll be very curious how Season 2 and how Season 3 look in terms of popularity.